just north of downtown Tampa. Today we've got an intriguing NFC matchup lined up here, as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
On the first snap, here's Mayfield. Over the middle, he finds Godwin complete. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Second and 6.
Oh, I see you nodding your head along with me, partner, because it's pretty obvious what they were trying to do there on the drag route. With his speed, they're hoping he can turn the corner and maybe take this to the house. But that was excellent work defensively to make sure once he caught it, he wasn't going anywhere.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. The pass is caught by Cade Otton. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. Well, the first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
It's second down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Here's Mayfield. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
So on 4th down, on is Riley Dixon to punt for Tampa Bay. Britton Covey deep for Philadelphia. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 11. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Hurts. Quick slant, Dotson. The quick slant, good for 8 and a first.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
Here's a quick throw caught by Smith. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
That one, a gain of 20 and a first down. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go, and sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well drilled, well prepared, and excited.
Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. A first down carry for Barkley. To about the 26 here.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Second down and 6 now from the 26. They go play action with Hurts. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's third down now.
Tackled back at the 33-yard line.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. On third down, Barkley. And he's going to be brought down. He needed to get to the 20. But he's a yard or two short. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a fourth down.
That was a good explosive run right there. And it brings up an interesting little dilemma, doesn't it? 4th and inches. Got to decide what they want to do now. Not sure they expected to be in this situation with what they were facing on third down.
Yeah, they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on fourth.
But when it's 4th and inches, shouldn't you pick up the first down? I mean, shouldn't you go for it? I mean, if you can't get inches, right, why are you playing?
And on inches, that's your favorite play, right? Don't mess with handing it off. Just go ahead and get the surge and go right up the gut.
Exactly. Create that. Just a little bit of space should get it done. You're almost able to take the snap and just fall down and pick it up. They got it there.
Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback as everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. This short throw caught by Goedert. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be second down. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And the top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
It's a loss of 7. And now it's third down.
Brings up third down.
A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Jake Elliott on for the field goal. A 41-yard attempt.
The kick by Elliott is good. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. 1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Now Mayfield. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Yeah, that's a nice pickup there, especially when it comes on the heels of a 3-and-out the first time you have the ball. They were determined to not have that happen again, and that's a nice throw for their first down of the game.
On 1st and 10, here's Irving.
And they'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
From the 34-yard line, here's a 2nd and 9. To throw, Mayfield. Finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a 1st down as well.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
2nd and 10. To the left side, he gets this one to Egbuka.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Zero hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, it turned into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. And they'll send the slot in motion left. And Mayfield just getting the play off. He's got his target. That's complete. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 37.
It's a gain of 11.
A strong pickup of 11 keeps their drive alive.
1st down.
That's a play that'll likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
And now a jet sweep. This is Evans with it. And that is well read there defensively. He was looking to use his speed to get the edge, but they said no way.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. He's got Otten on the out route. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 24-yard line. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
At the 24-yard line.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Buccaneers in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. And now Mayfield on the bootleg. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Baker going to give it to Irving. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up first and goal.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Once again, it's Irving. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be second and goal now.
That's good hard running right there on first and goal. That gets them down to the 2 and puts a lot more pressure on that defense.
Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on second and goal? Irving is not going anywhere. He'll be hit and dropped for no gain at the 2-yard line. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second...
And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
For the point after.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead.
7, Eagles 3.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
Yeah, maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
There he goes, left side. Inside the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Saquon Barkley. 73 yards. And the Eagles are once again back in front. They erased that deficit pretty quickly, did they not? A 2-play drive.
What do we call that? Short-lived?
Very.
Very short-lived. 2 plays later, they're in the end zone and back out in front. We always talk about drives, don't we? Does 2 plays count as a drive?
Not really, but that second play was so good. I don't care what we call it. It was enjoyable to watch. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the pass.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds. Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And now a jet sweep. This is Evans with it. And this is not going to work as planned. He's going to be met and dropped behind the line of scrimmage. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Mayfield to throw it. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
A run up the middle with Irving. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Mayfield off the play fake. And his throw here is incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Mayfield now. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Oh, nice move. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Well, that turned out better than most of the passes he could have thrown on that snap. The coverage downfield was excellent, but the containment close to home left him a backdoor escape, and they paid dearly for not locking up.
Hurts with a quick throw, complete. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches at the 44-yard line.
Hurts completing this one quickly. And Devontae going to pick up the Eagles' first down as he's inside the 40 to the 38-yard line.
That's good.
They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
Hurts sets up to throw it. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
Here's Hurts to throw. He'll try to pick it up, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Yaya Diaby, he's the one who got in there. He gets the sack. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
The kick by Elliott is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they had 3 tight ends in on that set.
And these guys are punching really well. I use boxing analogies a lot. A lot of coaches have told me that when you line up to run the football, it's 10 fistfights along the line of scrimmage, right? You've got to win your share. These 3 tight ends, they almost always win their fistfights.
Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Now a 2nd and 10. Mayfield. Open man is Egbuka. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Mayfield looks to throw. That is caught. It's Chris Godwin. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. There's a short one taken in by Otten. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Running the toss to Irving. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches.
Mayfield firing quickly. It's complete. Touchdown! Emeka Egbuka. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Bucs have tied the ball game with a chance to take the lead. Had the option there, read it perfectly, and an easy little touchdown toss.
And it has to be a sharp throw, too, because of where they are on the field. The extra traffic, things are condensed near the goal line. Good route by the receiver as well.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that will give him the lead here as we get on towards halftime. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Throwing is Hurts. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
Well, no one likes to see that drop, but I'll guarantee it's not going to stop his quarterback from going back to him anytime he has open space.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. That one downfield for Dotson. And that'll be incomplete as it's knocked away. But a penalty flag is down. So who's this going to be on? On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Well, the Bucs going to take over now late in this first half. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. The Buccaneers in good field position here to start out 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Here's Mayfield. That's complete to his receiver, Goedert. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Throwing, Mayfield. And this is caught by Evans. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now a 2nd and 2. They'll look to throw again. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This from 42 yards out. And his kick is indeed good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
Britton Covey going to bring it out of his end zone. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's the Eagles ready to see the football first, and they trail here as we resume action in this 3rd quarter. A little juke. And great field position coming up as he gets this just shy of the 45, out of bounds at the 44. The Eagles ready to go on offense to begin quarter number 3. Well, out of the locker rooms here they come. Their first drive of the 3rd quarter. And, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went into half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. What do you say we use them to start the second half and get us going?
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
They go play action with Hurts. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
The first down pass. A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the 30-yard line.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's a 2nd down and 6. Hurts. Now he's going to step up and run. Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a 1st.
He's been making himself a weapon as a runner, and the results, they've been welcomed by his offense. My question is about the defense we're watching right now, partner. Even after he got him with a scramble earlier this drive, they still aren't devoting enough attention to him. I would expect that after that carry, they'll do a much better job going forward, spying on him on passing downs.
They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Smith, the man in motion left. Here's a fake on the jet sweep as they'll go instead with Barkley. And the Eagles are going to have it 1st and goal as he'll take this down to about the 3.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Philadelphia.
Back to throw here. And Goedert's got it. Touchdown, Eagles.
Touchdown.
2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Eagles have retaken a third-quarter lead.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money, in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that gives him a 3-point lead.
20. Buccaneers 17.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Dances by him. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. And, Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, one-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side trying to match each other.
Nolan Smith showing some bursts there to catch him behind the line. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it's 3rd and 4 now. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. Looking middle, and he's got Egbuka. And he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 15. They'll drop it off with Saquon Barkley. Gets around him. And he takes it all the way down to the 44-yard line. 139 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. So you got the lead here in the second half. Obviously, you love big runs like that at any time. Here you really like it.
And how about the confidence that's being exhibited by that offense now? They don't care what you're lining up doing on the defensive side. They want the big fella to carry the football and carry it often.
So offense moving a little too slow there, could not get set, and they get the penalty. And just a little too lackadaisical, Charles, and they didn't get up and snap the ball in time. Delay of game.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he understood where the clock was located. In different stadiums, it's in different places. You have to check that in pregame and make sure you're aware so you don't run into penalties like these.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. And a quick shuffle pass here is complete. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. From the 42-yard line, here's the 2nd and 8. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 14 yards there, and an Eagle 1st down.
14 yards. 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 14
He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Got him in. It's Brown. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll make it second down.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 22-yard line.
Play action. Here's Hurts. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. They bring a man off the corner that time, and he gets home for a loss of 6.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, so much for holding them to a field goal. The pressure they got home on the previous play didn't hear, and that bought their quarterback some time to find a receiver, and it sets up a 1st and goal.
And they'll try the option on 1st and goal.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line.
It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down. Well, that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
And he pushes forward, but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Well, they've gotten it to the 1. Can they get that final yard here on 3rd and goal? On the sneak, it's Hurts. And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out. And the Eagles go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points.
That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. Straight ahead, it's Irving. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw, Mayfield. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Here's a handoff to Irvin.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. His throw incomplete.
He came through well with a nice pass breakup there. Fortunate that he was on the spot. He's the only guy left to prevent the first down.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Mayfield to throw it. He'll try and do this himself. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Mayfield showing he can be fleet of foot, picking up the first down.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there because, to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
And now Mayfield on the bootleg. And a catch right side by Evans.
To number 13, Mike Evans. A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the 46-yard line.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. Now Mayfield. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. So they'll get nothing out of that play. 3rd and 7 now.
No gain on the play. Brings up
3 quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the 4th quarter. Mayfield down. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Nolan Smith brings him down on the pass rush.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. They begin with a run by Barkley. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they got it going today.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because, to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
They'll try the right side here. Barkley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
That'll give them 8 that time, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Flag comes out, and that's because the offense did not get the play off in time.
And you can see the head coach, he is not happy. Everyone getting away from him right now because he's frustrated that they didn't get the ball snapped in time.
Delay of game penalty. Ships him back 5 yards, makes it 3rd and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. And it is caught. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the 4th quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
That is caught. It's the tight end Goedert. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. The passing game continues to be their friend, even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles. They're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Saquon Barkley, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Eagles are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The Tampa Bay offense set to go again. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but Certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Mayfield. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
That's good.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a first down.
Play clock down to 0, and that's going to be a delay. Well, everybody was up there ready at the line of scrimmage, CD, but no snap, and the delay of game ensued.
Yeah, and I'm sure their head coach is asking the exact same thing. What's going on out there? Almost like they thought they had more time than actually was on the clock.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Mayfield looks to throw. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. It's Nakobe Dean with a pick. And the Eagles will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Throwing is Hurts. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Second down, here's Barkley again.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here.
152 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Hurts sets up to throw it. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Up the middle with Barkley. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Now an option play on 2nd down. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. Well, he's had success running the football in this one. Yeah, that's undeniable. But that time, the defense was on to it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
Now Hurts, he's going to do it himself. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Partner, even I can figure out who deserves the lion's share of credit for their lead right now because he has been terrific in a dual threat role, really chewing up yardage and getting them points with his legs. Simply put, that defense has had no way of stopping him, and that's why his side is on top.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
At the 9-yard line.
Another try for Barkley.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
3rd and goal, option right. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4. But sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face, because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Here's Mayfield. And this is caught by Evans. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing, Mayfield. Otten brings it in over the middle. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. So the incomplete pass there, but the roughing the passer call bails them out.
Which means you have to stay on the field on defense longer because you've given the offense free snaps, not to mention the free yardage after that mistake.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Now back to throw. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Here's 2nd and 10. Going to the air again with Mayfield. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. And that went to the right side and incomplete.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down. One last shot for Mayfield here. One last shot at the end zone. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.